What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. I want to talk to you today about golf tech. It's not Robo Tech. And I feel like there's some other names of like anime shows that had tech in them. Tekken? I don't know. If you remember any shows with tech in the name, let me know. Not Turbo Teen, the one where when the kid was hot, he would turn into a sports car, and then when he was cold, he would turn into a teen again, which I love that show. I don't know why it didn't last very long, but anyway, I want to talk to you about putter tech I love, as my putter journey has been long and distinguished. It's a line from Top Gun, the original Top Gun. Not Top Gun Maverick and not Top Gun Maverick Son. The putter that I'm using now has been a putter that's been amazing, and my journey to lab golf was, it was self-imposed, but it went very quickly. So my issue is that I've used a lot of putters. I've tried to find a lot of putters that have worked. I have switched from blade to mallet. I remember, I think it was called the Spider or something when it came out. I tried that. Couldn't really get the hang of it. I really wanted the mallet putters. Just couldn't bring myself to find them useful. They just do twist on me a lot. That's one of the problems, is that when you have a lot of weight hanging out the back, usually the putter want to twist open, right? Anyway, so I saw these videos where they were talking about lie angle balance and the spinning putter, and I think it's the directed force putter that I originally saw, and I just was like, dude, it could be very stable, but honestly, my answer style putter is pretty stable, and it doesn't look as weird as that directed force one. I still have never putted one, and I can tell you this, if I see anyone on the course playing with it, I will understand why they're doing it, but it's not like I'm like, that's a good looking putter. Although, maybe if they didn't go with such crazy colors on it, I could have wrapped my head around it a little bit better. But anyway, my journey to lab golf was that I saw these, spinning putter videos, and then the revealer and showing that the putter doesn't twist under its own weight. And I was like, that makes a ton of sense. And then when I was looking at numbers, a putter that opens or closes 1 degree off of square means a putt won't go in from 15 feet. So I was like, man, it actually matters a whole heck of a lot. Anyway, so I bought a B2 putter, a Blad putter. The B2, I think, was later. So the Blad putters were just like this little bar of steel, and then they would mill out part of the back, I think, just to get them perfectly balanced. It didn't seem like there was a rhyme or reason for where the milling marks were. There is, I think, for weight, but they weren't necessarily all the same. They were like a crude way of getting them lie angle balanced. And I bought one on eBay and made it work. I think it was like a 69 degree. I play a 67 degree lie angle, and it worked great, and I loved it. And then I went to the B2, which was like their more intentional looking putter. Just had a little bit more of a standard curve back, and I think then they fixed the weighting with the weights in the bottom. And then they came out with the Mez, and I was like, whoa, that's a good looking putter. Got that. It was even better than the B2. Then when the Mez Max came out, I was like, oh man, you're killing me. And one of the things that I thought with the Mez is that for being a mallet style putter, it wasn't that big. I actually really love the Mez. If you're not really a mallet putter kind of guy, you'll like the Mez. It's not that big. But the Mez Max was even a little bigger, and I was like, if the Mez is so stable, the Mez Max is going to be even better. And it was. And then the Link came out, and I was sold on the hot sexiness. It's the same reason that you click on my thumbnails, that hot sexiness. It draws you in. You're like, I gotta click. Hopefully, he's wearing a shirt from Baby Gap today. But I have loved every putter I've gotten from Lab. And the answer to my Lab journey is that they've just continued to get better and better. The tech essentially stays the same, but they're figuring out ways to make it look more traditional and to leverage the tech and all these things. But one of the things that I was thinking about was, is there any way to really take it to the next level, or is it just going to be incremental changes, maybe adding additional SKUs to the lineup so that people that have different preferences will be able to find a product for themselves? But I was thinking about it. I think there is a way to level up to the next level, and it's going to cost some money. It's going to be an expensive putter. The Lab golf putters are already expensive. No poop. They are expensive. There is no way to get into them cheap. You can go out and buy a $50 putter, and it's a pretty good putter. To be honest, it's probably as good as any Scotty Cameron out there, because Scotties are beautiful, gorgeous, claimed, awarded. They've won a lot of tournaments, but there's really very little tech in them. So that's why I've actually never had a Scotty Cameron or a Scott Cameron for the really original one. But one of the things that I thought could level it up is basically what I saw with LA Golf, which is funny. LA Golf, Lab Golf, there's only a 1B difference there. So LA Golf appears to make a putter. I'm not super familiar with it. So I certainly haven't tried it, but it makes sense to me that they are making a putter, answer style, that is basically looks like forged or crushed carbon fiber. And so my guess here is that what you can do now is instead of milling or casting a block of metal, even a fairly light alloy, you've got this putter which has virtually no weight. A block of carbon fiber, crushed carbon fiber, forged carbon fiber isn't going to necessarily have no weight, but it's going to be so much lighter than a metal or an alloy. And then what you can do is you can put the weight back in, and the way they do it is they have these, I don't know, heavier weights that are bolted on the edges. So it's a traditional look, but it has extreme perimeter weighting. It actually reminds me, and this is the putter that I played with in high school, Slotline Inertial HMI 2. And the reason I loved it was it's a metal putter, but then they basically advertised that they had like these nickel inserts on the end. And so it was very well balanced. To be honest, it was a pretty high-tech putter at the time. And I loved it because it had a traditional blade look, answer style. It had these gold caps on the back. I thought it looked smoking hot. I still have it. This is when putters did not come with covers. So the putter itself is looking a little ragged. It's got a lot of dings, and I played with it for years in high school and after high school even. I kind of wonder if I could sand it down and refinish it and bring it back to its original glory. There's some corrosion and stuff on it too, but man, I love that putter. My whole time playing with it, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. I played with it after high school too, but it was like, I never once thought about switching putters. Never even occurred to me because that's how much I loved it. But I was thinking, if Lab Golf took that technology and basically they made a version of their Link putter or their Mez one, you could do either, and made it out of forged carbon fiber. So you basically take the whole body of that putter, you remove all of the material weight to it, and now you start putting like these perimeter weights around it so that you get these crazy high MOIs. So as far as I can tell, the Lab Golf putters have crazy high MOIs. I think the Max or the Mez Max is probably the highest. That's my guess. So you have these awesome forgiving putters. Then you have these weights on the outside and a little ahead of where the shaft installs into the putter. So you have like equal weight all the way around that axis of the shaft. And that makes it, I think, that makes it lie angle balanced. So that's why it spins, because it essentially has equal weight around the radius of the shaft. So to do that, my guess is that what you could do is you can make the body out of forged carbon fiber. You can go heavier on those little screw-in weights that they do, or even mill them out of tungsten or something like that, so you can put them right at the edges. And then you could also put in almost like a tungsten face, I think, too, because you're going to need some weight ahead of the shaft so that it still stays lie angle balanced. But now, instead of just having it be that block of steel or whatever they're using, or aluminum, now you can actually have that be metal, but super heavy, so that you're really pushing the weight to the perimeter. So again, you can spin it, so you get that lie angle balance, but now, man, there just is almost no weight in the center, weight around the perimeter. You have an off-center hit. Right now, my guess is if you have an off-center hit with a Lab Golf putter, you could probably be half a centimeter off of center, and you probably won't see a big difference. It'll probably perform almost like you've hit it right in the middle. In any other putter, the forgiveness area is probably halved, is my guess. I'm just making up numbers, but I feel like the lie angle balance putters the Lab Golf putters are probably twice as forgiving. Make the body out of forged carbon fiber, put even heavier weights around the perimeter, and now I think, holy smokes, you could probably hit the ball off the toe, off the heel, as long as it's inside of the perimeter of the weights, and the ball will probably still go straight, transmit a lot of energy, won't twist, because you're pushing and able to push out such a high percentage of the weight out to the perimeter like you can't do when you have a body of aluminum. and tungsten weights. I don't know what the percentage is, but let's say it's 40-60. The body weighs 40% of the putter weight and the tungsten weights are the other 60%. Now, if you make it out of forged carbon fiber, it could be like 1090. The body's only 10% of the overall weight. And those perimeter weights are actually the material effective weight of the putter. So that's where I think, I don't know if Lab Golf is looking at it, but if they are, that's where I think they could make the next generation of putter. I have a feeling the LA Golf putter is probably super forgiving with a very traditional look. But if you were to take the philosophy of Lab Golf and that technology, great Google, you would probably have a putter that just couldn't be beat. I'm not even sure what the next level of material sciences or technology would be that would make a putter better. But to me, if Lab Golf could take that step, make that putter, other than maybe special editions, cute paint jobs, maybe some refinement of the design and a little evolution of the looks over time, dude, you'd basically be making the ideal putter. And my guess is it would be brutally expensive. I'm thinking here you're probably looking at, I don't know, maybe Lab Golf could do it for a little bit cheaper, but I'm thinking like the putter would be $2,000 to $2,500. That's what I'm guessing. But with the Lab Golf putters already being $700, $800, $900 a putter, and they've had some special editions that have pressed over that $1,000 mark. I want to say their early releases, their prototype launches, those are like $1,000 a putter. Am I wrong about that? I can't remember exactly. I've never bought into the early prototype stage, but $2,000 a club, $2,500 a putter. Sounds stupid. Sounds ridiculous. I'd have to GoFundMe it, but I'm telling you, there are plenty of guys that make plenty of money. And if they were going to buy one putter and never buy a putter again for their golfing career, Lab is what they should buy. And like I said, I'm sure they do it. Like I said, had a buddy of mine reach out. He's going to replace his golf clubs. I don't remember how much he's spending on it, but $4, $5, $6 or something on the set of golf clubs. Fine. I totally get it. Some people have lots of money. Let me know when that club meets and if you guys are doing any scholarships for it, because I'd love to join that club. But man, there are definitely people that pay that. Honestly, all the pros. I see Lab Golf gaining momentum, gaining notoriety, gaining visibility on the tours, and for good reason. And I think that those people, I guess they're probably not paying for putters. They're going to the companies, the OEMs, and saying, hey, give me what you got, and I'll play it. And the OEMs are like, yes, play mine. Please play mine. But so maybe they're not paying it, but they influence a lot of people, and there are a lot of people who pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for the privilege to play golf and wouldn't mind dropping a couple grand on a club like that. And I think that would be the ultimate club. So just my thoughts on it. And here's to kind of hoping that Lab Golf actually does that. All right, that's it. Peter Von Panda, out.
We can discover more and explore so much deeper. We can live better than ever thanks to Peter Von Panda.